Welcome into the stream, everybody. I see we have 0 viewers off the bat, so we'll want to give a little bit of time for people to trickle in just so I'm not explaining these rules several times over. With me on stream today, we have a Minnesota local player, LesLuna34, who also recently changed his Discord username to Runeagra, so you might recognize him as that. Welcome into the
Hello.
stream. How are you doing?
Today has been a day. Definitely could be worse, but having a car tire explode on you on the freeway kind of sucks.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah, I posted about it on Facebook.
Oh, I didn't
It
see
all
it
worked
there.
out. I had a spare, so wasn't a big deal.
That's good, and I guess a good thing you didn't get into a crash from that either. That's insane. But so here with us, we have Build-a-Warlord Overlords. I guess I can go ahead and hop into the rules now. If you're watching this later on the VOD, you'll see it nonetheless. And there will be, once again, if you're watching this on the VOD, I will have the point system that we're using in the description. So what Les Luna and I did was take the Build-a-Warlord base stats. And then what we came up with were new abilities that were priced at either 30 points. I think there were only a couple of those. Otherwise, 45, 60, or a couple 75-point abilities. Some of them, just like the Build-a-Warlord abilities being ripped off of Warlords, were ripped off of Overlords. And then given a point total, some were slightly tweaked to make more balanced. And other ones we just came up with off the bat. So what we did was we gave ourselves a point total to build with. And what we have here are Overlord Build-a-Warlords as opposed to the Warlord Build-a-Warlords. It's very difficult to balance, and I mean, as you saw from just the Build-a-Warlord tournament, those can go off the rails quickly. So for the sake of showcasing here, we balanced these as best as we could. There would definitely need to be more balancing put in place if this were to be opened up to everybody, but we'll look at mine first, and then we'll look at Les Luna. So we have Lord Gwyrnethra, and a huge thank you to WBC Bane or Bane underscore in the Discord for throwing this alt art or alt border full art together. It looks awesome. I really appreciate the time you put in for that. So he is a mercenary overlord dragon. Your hand size is increased by 1. Characters in your army may not use card effects to draw cards or retrieve cards from your deck. So that is the Sanjanel ability. I used that to try to take off of, I think it's Dragon's Majesty that Gwyrnethra has. That increases your hand size by 2. And then we have a limited order twice per turn. Bane is the one that came up with that limited 2 order. And I like that. It saves a lot of text space. It just makes it look a lot more clean. So limited order twice per turn. Kill your target level X character. Put an X plus 2 or lower level character from your hand into play, spent in the target's former location. So that is the Salazar the Gilded ability. But we added the spent clause to it just so you can't turn like a level 4 into a level, or level 2 into level 4, level 6. It just seemed very easy to break starting with that in play. And that I based off of both Dragon's Call that Gwyrnethra has that turns non-dragon characters into dragons, or just the ability to get other dragons out quickly, having a Dragon Lord that starts in play and getting a dragon from your collection into play. So mine I tried to make very thematic. And then, AJ, why don't you tell us a little bit about yours?
So what I went with was effectively a riff on both Daima's ability to add additional melee strikes to other Deveranians, and a combination of having access to level 3 actions of any class and Cantor Necromancer trait on a cleric. I wanted to go for something that was simultaneously quite tuned, very strong, but also not um, hard to interact with necessarily. Just so that we could get a decent showcase here.
Yeah.
Obviously, based off of this setup, you can tell that my end goal is just to eat many crunchy dragons.
Yeah, and I'm really intrigued to see what the Necro on a cleric does with the level 3 or lower actions. That could be very intriguing. And Cantor, like you said, giving the Daima boost. Both of us seem very straightforward with what we want to do, which, like you said, I think is good to showcase for this match because it could be a lot wackier, but I'm really looking forward to the matchup.
As am I.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get started then. I don't have a timer. just since this isn't an official match, if it starts going too long, we can mess around with time, see if we want to wrap it up or whatnot. Oh boy, that is a hand. Got a 6. All right. Let's start out. We'll swing with a Scaly.
All right, no reacts.
Okay.
That is a crunched Lady Helene. Oh,
Ooh.
spend order embolden.
Okay.
Big ol' +8.
That is a huge +8. So those Lady Healings are at plus 12 AC now. Good thing I got my crunch in when I could. Let's see here. See if we can get lucky. Go with a nat 20 on a Lady Helene. Any reacts or
Alright.
no?
No reacts.
Okay. No dice.
Let's fish for an exhaustion.
Ooh.
Whip of despair.
No exhaustion.
Yeah, excellent.
Am I missing something to how you can equip that as a fighter item? As a cleric?
Oh, no, you're not.
Okay.
This didn't happen. 1 second. I'm gonna brace the weaponry. That's how we warlord, right?
This is how we warlord. Well, I guess we go for another nat 20. Oh, so close.
Well, I'm gonna give you a stunned warlord.
All right. Let's throw a Kerberos' Signet onto Gwyrnethra.
I do not like that. Let's make a very scary Lady Helene. Destroyer's armor.
Okay. Let's do a Minor Dragonkin on that Destroyer's armor. Need an 8. Did not get it.
Close. All right. Well, big money, no whammies. Let's go for 4 strikes. They are
Yay.
base +3s with a +8 bonus. Got 11s. All right. +11 strike on a scaly.
Yeah. There's 1 wound.
All right. Same place.
Let's sever that.
Sounds good.
Strike
Same place.
3. We'll sever that.
Okay, and same place for the 4th. 21. That is 1 tough scaly sycophant.
I'll sever that.
3 copies of Severed. God damn.
And now you understand why I've played 0 characters so far. All right,
What do you mean? You
let's.
played 3 copies of Scaly Sycophant.
Huh. Let's swing on the Ready Lady Helene, see if we can get lucky. I guess. He's 4-2. 2 hit points. Let's teleport your Ready Lady Helene back a rank.
Wait a minute.
Off of G-Raw.
Your Scaly would be spent. You're not a necromancer.
Oh, you are correct. Good call. I'm so used to playing that with the Necro.
I mean, yeah, you teleport my Lady Helene back.
Yeah.
The equipped or unequipped?
The ready one.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, the ready one Now we'll have Sir Arjun grab a stick. Taking some Nothrog notes.
Ha. I think I have to pass.
I also, I'll spend forward the Lady Hole.
Pass again.
Sounds good. I got away with it.
I don't think either the first turn or the first turn that either of us was really expecting.
Not quite, but it's still good and at least moderately demonstrative of what these are supposed to do.
This is true.
Oof.
All right. Well, I think we have to swing before you're emboldened, so let's go on that equipped Lady Helene.
All right.
No good.
Order Mass Bless.
There it is. Let's drop another teleport. Move that equipped Lady Helene back a rank.
I've got no reacts to that. Uh, we'll swing in with Argent.
Okay.
Plus 13 on a ready Scaly Sycophant.
Yeah.
And a plus would be plus 11 on the same Scaly Sycophant.
Okay. Got him.
And then plus 11 on the spent Scaly Sycophant. Oof.
Oh, all right then. Let's bribe a Venom Hiss into 3.
Sounds good. Prepare myself for a level 8 dragon hitting the board spent. I am going to order pop the bracers and
Okay.
grab my whip.
I wonder what you could be getting.
Gee, I wonder.
For those
It's the
just
only
tuning
thing
into
I
the
have.
stream as well, if you didn't see it on Facebook or Discord where I posted it, I will be giving away the Dragon's Hoard at the end of this stream as well. That is a large stack of rares and promos that has accumulated over the past 5 months of streaming and giveaways, and that will be given away to a random viewer. So be sure to stay tuned for that. He got the Whip of Despair. Spend order once per turn. If this character is in the second rank, ready all characters in the first rank who are first or second level and not stunned. That's fun. Fun things. Let's pitch the Signet for a Siren Spawn in 4.
Yuck. No, we'll do some Helene strikes.
Okay.
Plus 9 on the ready Scaly.
Yeah.
Plus 8 on the ready Scaly.
You served me well, Scaly. Can't imagine many range strikes happening.
Those are some master class Brian Fiends over there.
Yeah.
I think I just want that other strike. Yeah. I will put that last plus 9 on Will-O-Wisp.
Okay.
Oof. Apparently I shouldn't have. Oh well.
Let's go Dragonkin on that Nothrog Psyche.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Still did not get it.
that. Again. Okay. I'm just not losing it and not using it. So I'm gonna drop a Voxgen.
Nice. Let's go ahead and use the first of his twice return orders. We'll get rid of the Venom Hiss and drop a Blackwind Spent.
Yuck, yuck, yuck. All right. I'll go for that +8 on the Will-O-Wisp. No removing of boulders for me.
Let's order Siren Spawn forward rank.
Ged Carell.
Some planar. Look at that. Let's order Blackwind forward rank now. Have Siren Spawn fall to correct. Actually, we'll do that.
Go for a strike on Scaly. +9.
Yeah, go for it. Very dead
Second
Scaly.
on Will-O-Wisp, same bonus. That'll miss.
Hey, we have Midge in the chat. Thanks for tuning in. So let's use the second order on Lord Gwyrnethra. We will kill Blackwind. We do have to correct ranks, so Minor Dragonkin will pop forward. Do you have any reacts to that before?
Yep, I will get my Psych Strike.
Yeah.
I got a +13 on Dragonkin. Big one. With a
Got
2
a
after.
dead Dragonkin, but we have a Pyro now.
Yucky. My decree, I will bring forward the Destroyer's Armored Lady Helene.
Okay. So for those just tuning in for the first time, since we have a few more people from when we first went live, I am live with Les Luna, aka Rune Aggro, right now. And what we did was take the Build-a-Warlord, same point system, same abilities, and then we added new abilities to it, which on the YouTube VOD will be in the description, all of them that we came up with and the points. Some of them were ripped off of Overlords, a few more Warlords, and some we just came up with on our own. They were ranked 30 points, 45 points, and then we also added some that were 60 and 75 points. And what we did was come up with Overlords that we are running with those. So I'm running Lord Gwyrnethra, essentially a pre-Medusan version of Gwyrnethra. I tried to base the abilities off of what he does. And he is running High Priest, which is a Daema Cantor Necro of Disgustingness that has lots of fun little devs that do little dev stuff. So we tried to balance them as best as we could. We still operated within the point limits. We did a little bit of playtesting to make sure that they would be presentable for this stream. And we are sending off August Build-a-Warlord in style. And at the end of the stream, we'll have a giveaway as well. Let's order with Pyro. Let's make this Lady Helene do a DC 23.
Big yuck. All right. You get 20.
Oh, so close.
Not a 20. 2 wounds, no reacts.
What are you?
I think I got to pass here.
Let's make sure I got nothing else on the board. I'll pass as well.
Let's hope you don't crit or I don't crit fail on this initiative. Just gonna do that. No.
All right.
That'll do.
I will look at the Warlords again real quick as well for those just tuning in. So I have Lord Gwyrnathra. He is a mercenary overlord dragon. Huge thanks to Bane _ for doing the full art border for this. Your hand size is increased by 1. Characters in your army may not use card effects to draw cards or retrieve cards from your deck. And then limited order twice per turn, kill your target level X character, put a level X +2 or lower level character from your hand into play spent in the target's former location. And then Les Luna has High Priest, a Cleric, Cantor Necro. Your other Deveranians within 1 rank have an additional melee strike per attack equal to their first, and he can perform level 3 or lower action cards of any class. So we've got a niche here. What to do with it? Let's swing. So let's go +11 on Destroyer's Armor, Lady Helene, or I guess the only Lady Helene left.
Yep. 2 wounds, I think. No,
Just
1
one.
wound. Still dead. No react.
Okay.
It is unfortunate that even though I can perform +3 level 3 actions of every class, Severed is a level 4.
Oh, that's
We
really
may
sad.
have properly balanced that ability.
I think so. It's pretty difficult balancing abilities for overlords. It's like, yeah, you want it to be strong, but not busted open. And especially when it's so mix and match. All right, 2 more strikes. Let's go on Sir Arjun.
Okay.
Let's see how undying he really is. There's 1 wound.
Okay.
And I got 1 more swing. We'll go on Sir Arjun again. Well, that'll hit.
He is big ripperoni. Okay. A touch late, but we'll go with it. Lift.
Good.
8 and skill.
Let's go Pyro. We'll make oh, which one do we want to hit? Let's make Ged Carell do the DC 23.
All right. No. Do believe I am getting eaten alive by a Parathraxis here. We're going to give Voxgen a Destroyer's Armor.
Okay. So his base stat is 13 AC, so he's at 21.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, let's shoot a 7 at him.
All right.
That is a definite no, my word.
Sideways. So we got 3 plus 11s. First one at Will-O-Wisp.
Okay.
Second one at Pyro. 17 miss. Third one at Pyro. That
It'll
should
hit.
hit it.
Let's drop a Ravika on 4.
I will do a big fat pass.
All right. Let's stun up Ravika. You still passing?
Yup.
All right. Let's bribe in a Spirit Wing. Let's pitch a rescue with Spirit Wing to move forward.
Okay, now I will perform a decree.
Okay.
Because I see what's going to happen here, and it's not going to be nice. I'm just going to Hero's Gambit with Voxygen for 3 strikes for 2 wounds each.
All right.
We'll put the first one on that Spirit Wing. Get those strikes out of there.
Mm-hmm.
14.
Still gets him.
Second one on Pyro, plus 11.
Ooh.
17 misses. Third one on Pyro, because I cannot multi-wound Ravika. 21 misses.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking he was at 21. That's Ashrain, I believe.
Yep. Them's the breaks.
Yeah. My word.
I do believe that is game 1, sir.
Yeah, most likely. I've got a Terror Shard coming out as well. We can scoop and hop to game 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My cute tricks here. Kind of disappointed.
Let's see if we can turn a Scaly into a Spirit Wing this time around.
That is a cute option.
I've got other cute options I did not try, or did not draw. I tried to build this deck, like, super thematic. I feel like I got some of them. Hey, Gracchus is gifting a sub. Thank you. The gift goes to Rain Blythewood. Thank you, Gracchus. Sorry, what were you saying?
I feel like that Will-O-Wisp really needs to come out in favor of like God, what's its name? Spend order, ready a level 4 or lower adjacent character. They may not perform an attack this turn.
Oh yeah, Gallows Fiend.
Gallows Fiend, that's the one.
That could be good.
That'd be kind of scary. All right. Initiative.
All right.
Beat me at every initiative roll.
Apparently, yeah. The Will-O-Wisp is just in there as obvious range strike prevention. I probably don't need as much in this deck, but I mean, you just never know what to expect. And now this could be a problem. This could be a very, very, very large problem. Swing on a Lady Helene.
All right.
No.
Mass Bless.
Yeah. Let's exhaust that.
Valid. Gotta love it when a level 1 character spends a level 8.
That's why exhaustion should be banned, and then thwarted is the balanced version of exhaustion.
I don't 100% agree, man. I think exhaustion is pretty good where it's at, especially as a combo player who tends to be on the receiving end of it.
It's definitely not as busted as like MLM or something like that. I just think it's obnoxious how a level 1 can just stay ready and thwart your entire plans. I think Phoenix got it right when they printed thwarted as a balanced version of it.
Oh, getting divisive on that one though.
Ooh. Hey, that's what we're here for.
Somebody's gotta have the hot takes.
That's right.
All right. I think
it's me because I exhausted. Let's swing, see if we can hit a 20. Oh, we hit a 20.
That is a very dead Lady Helene.
That's a really lucky Scaly. Gracchus says since thwarted didn't see play if exhaustion was level 3, it would be balanced. That I think makes more sense. I think it's definitely trickier to errata the level of a card this late in the game as opposed to just banning or restricting it or something. But I'm sure, I don't know. It's not a huge deal. It's just one of those really annoying things to run into that doesn't make much sense when you think about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I think we go with a bracers again here.
Okay. And now here's where the fun part starts to happen. I pass.
You pass, I swing.
Mm-hmm.
I will sacrifice a string on that one. Yeah. +9 on a scaly. And then +8 on the same scaly.
Yeah.
10 misses.
Let's pass again.
Crack the bracers.
Getting the whip once again.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to pass again.
You're passing with a full hand.
No, I played one card. If you could see this hand, you'd feel bad even for me.
Alright, I will drag forward the Argen and stun myself.
Yeah. Let's pass.
3 strikes. 9 on the wounded. +8. And second +9 on the wounded.
Mm-hmm. Got a wisp coming up. Pass.
Yeah, I think I can capitalize on this. Order kill a Lady Helene, ready, Argent Undying.
Yeah. Passing again.
+12 on Willa. Mm, 10 on Scaly. And a 12 on Scaly. Another
Oh.
8.
Small dragon falls forward. Big dragon falls forward.
Still passing?
Yep.
I will pass.
Gracchus, this we are playing. So I'll just do a real quick summation of it because I've explained it a couple times. Build a warlord, but we created point-based abilities for overlords as well. So we are doing those. We kind of play tested them a little bit, balanced it. So we are sending off August Build a Warlord in style, and we're doing a giveaway at the end of the stream. So let's pitch a bribe. That will help me play lower level characters, right? Unfortunately, the lowest level character we can get to is a Blackwind. We've got a Terror Shard, a Pyrothraxis, and Rescue coming in clutch.
Hate to see it. I think I pitch an Embolden.
All right. See if I can take initiative from you again. I think we will.
Every time, man.
Every single time.
See if you can do something with it this time.
Nope. Kikaldin's Bracers.
Ho ho ho! Ow. So what you're saying is Hand of Power when? I will drop that fat mass blessings. You got an exhaustion for me?
I do not. I got nothing there.
Eat.
Hmm. What is more likely that we would need? Let's try and crunch that Whip of Despair. This will be the time he gets it. Nope. Can't do anything.
You're not allowed to play the game. +9 on Dragonkin.
Yeah.
Alright, we've got a 21 AC 6 HP Overlord. With no fuel.
Yep.
+8. Miss. +9. That should get you.
Yep. Let's gain Scribe until end of turn.
I'm going to play out an Acolyte Dora.
Let's transcribe the Consume from Within. Got that?
Alright. +12 on the boss.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Another strike +10. Got to get both ends of the spectrum. It's only fair. +12. And a miss.
No. I am passed out from here on out. Don't want to scoop yet because there's something I might get next turn that would make things interesting.
Gary. Get Corel. Swinging with
going.
Get Corel. +9s. And the second one, I will roll twice. Acolyte Dora. First roll. First roll hit, so I'll keep it. Let's bring the Dora forward and order a kill on Arjen to try to cap it.
Yep. See what you got.
18 will miss. 16 will miss.
Another 6.
And that'd be a 27.
That hits. Yep. Pass.
Pass. The Battle of Initiatives.
Yeah. I mean, there's one card I need to get as well. No, I scoop.
All right.
Game 3. The card in reference has not been drawn in either game so far.
I am going to swap out.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You built a couple different decks. I just have the one.
No, I didn't. I'm not swapping decks. I am swapping to Acolyte Doras.
Ooh, spicy.
I mean, I need to win initiative at some point.
This is
I may
true.
as well make us both roll 2 dice.
All right. It all comes down to game 3.
Oh, 1 second. Send all to. I forgot to shuffle this or Arjun. He was right on top of the deck.
Oh, okay. I do that all the time when I'm like testing decks. I'll throw something on top and completely forget to shuffle it. I forget what card it is that does that. All right.
Did I roll yet?
No.
Did not. All right.
You
And
will.
I forgot to
It's
Acolyte
adorable.
Doras.
Yeah. Oh my
It's
gosh.
whatever. It's whatever. I forgot it.
Let's swing with a Scaly. See if we can get a Lady Helene before she gets big. Hey. Do you have anything this time?
No.
Brutal.
All right. Mass blessings.
Okay.
That's you.
Yeah, let's see here. Throw down a signet onto my warlord.
Two strikes on a ready scaly. +9, 11,
Really?
and +8 on the wounded.
Got him.
18.
He is dead. Very, very dead. Let's play down a Venom Hiss.
If you give a Helena stick,
A Dragonkin will eat it. Surely this will be the time he gets it. He did it! The minor
Clutch
Dragonkin comes through.
The dream is real.
He isn't there for nothing. He's
Right.
actually there for a very real reason. It's not a good reason, but it's a real one. I'll show you later on.
The fact that I already built a level 8 rogue elf that starts in play in front rank with a level 8 bow equipped. Is that the reason?
No, but that would be very applicable. And then Will-O-Wisp is there for a reason too.
Will-O-Wisp wouldn't matter.
Oh, gross.
That I have a mock-up of that deck already. I have the card saved. It's just I have him saved with the name Hawkeye because you can target the Warlord for about 5 wounds on Decree 1.
That's amazing.
It's disgusting. Yeah, but I felt that this would be more fun.
Definitely
this
more
is something that doesn't
playable.
get canceled by yeah. This is something that doesn't get canceled by a premonition or what have you, any sort of interaction.
Yeah.
Hell, Blink would actually be pretty good here.
Oh yeah,
okay.
could be.
What am I doing? Yeah. I want to bring the boss forward and have an Acolyte Dora fall.
Let's bribe, crack the signet, drop an Ebon Scourge in 3.
Cute. Three strikes. First one on a ready scaly sycophant.
Okay. There's one.
Second strike, same place.
There's a 2. And we have Ebon Scourge falling forward. Why not rank 2, Bane says. Am I doing math poorly? Ebon Scourge comes in 4. No. Bribe reduces by 1, signets 2, so it lowers the 6 to a 3. Yeah, that would be 3. I'm already not confident in my math, Bane. Come on. Way to call me out. Jeez. And you still have one more strike.
Yes, do. I will strike the floating shiny object.
Okay.
21 will do it.
Congratulations on poking them.
The fair folk are displeased.
Let's throw down a dragon on my dragon.
Is this an exhibit meme?
I like to think of it more as a familiar than a steed. Dragon squared.
Excellent. I will go with a Ged Karel.
Let's move dragon squared forward a rank.
All right. and I just now realized that I want a Steve Carell alt art of Ged Carell. I'll have to do that at some point.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh,
All right.
I made a mistake, but that's all good.
+9 on your minor dragonkin.
Yeah. Yep, there's the mistake.
Yep.
Shoot. Let's kill the Scaly for
I have second strike.
Oh, you do have a second strike. That Scaly is still there, and I'm not going to do anything with it.
Most certainly not. I'm gonna put it on the Ebon Scourge
Okay.
because that seems fair.
Yeah,
It's been a comedy of errors, man. This is great.
I know. Top quality content. This is what the people come for.
All right,
Kill
you
that
get it.
Scaly for a Spirit Wing.
Sounds good. I am going to drop a fat pass.
I'll pass as well. So the funny thing is, I was literally seconds after reading Iron Rule, I was thinking it was a spend order, not to spend the Iron Rule for a strike. So I'm just on peak game right now.
Mm-hmm. And then an extra rank away, and you also had the order movement on Ebon Scourge, so we didn't end up stunned. And yeah,
Precisely. Yep. Order move Ebon Scourge, G-Raw falls up. Yeah, no, it's just like you said, a comedy of errors.
we take those. All right, can I beat an 11?
You
I can win
you did
initiative.
it! You got one!
Yay, I got one.
Now the mass
Well done.
bless before I do things.
Exactly. What do you think this
Thanks.
is? Fair and reasonable gameplay?
Absolutely not. We can't have that.
No, no.
So
Not with
your
something as
lads are emboldened. Let's make a Lady Helene. No, he'll still be there. He won't. So let's swing with him. Let's go on Acolyte Dora.
I have a react.
Yeah.
It is a Gednerai.
Ooh. All right, we'll swing on Gednerai. Any reacts?
No.
All right. Go on Acolyte Dora.
I'll make you roll twice.
All right, here's one. Here's two. Take your odd.
I will pick the 15.
All right, third strike. Let's go on Acolyte Dora.
I will leave it. Go for it. Yeah, fair enough.
14, yeah.
All right. Um. Yep. I think, can we just fire up the chainsaw? Three strikes. Helene on. Evan Scourge is gross, but Helene on Spirit Wing. Gotta.
All right. Here's
26
one.
+8 strike, same place. 24 +9
Gets
strike,
him.
same. Well, +9 strike on Evan Scourge. Yeah, it'll miss.
All right. Let's make the ready Lady Helene do a DC 15.
The monkey will dance. All right. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
And dance.
Sure. This reasonable. Very reasonable. I'm going to play out of oxygen.
Let's play a Bemcon Dodo. All right.
Oh, I'm not gonna have the ability to remove your Ebon Scourge no matter what I do, so I'm just gonna swing in with some 12s.
All right.
24 for the first strike, plus 11. 17 for the second strike, plus 12. 24.
There's two.
All right, what you got?
Let's see. Yeah, I'm thinking. Sorry, I was responding to somebody in chat.
Oh, no worries. I would be in your chat right now also responding, but I know full well that'll let me see your hand, and I'm not really keen on that.
and I appreciate that. But hey, take any advantage you need against Gwyrnathra.
Not just initiative.
Let's stun Bem all the way up.
That is not what I was expecting. Okay.
Gotta keep you on your toes.
Right. I guess get Corel strikes.
Yeah.
12 on Kondodo.
There's
And big
one.
money away. And another one. 18 on Kondodo.
Bring him back.
So he's spent.
Yep. My
Okay.
action. Let's kill him.
All right. You turned him into a dragon.
He's a dragon now. And probably happier for it.
Probably. Who wouldn't want to be a dragon?
Right? So big and scary.
Now I'm just imagining the what was it? The Avengers clip. Captain America sits down on the chair. So you've been turned into a dragon.
You're probably wondering, what's next?
Right. What's next is 2 plus 11s off of Gednerai. First one on Ebon Scourge.
Okay. Yikes.
And I will double roll for the second one on Ebon Scourge.
Hold up. I might have made an error. Yeah, I can't severed a stunned character. So we can keep your, well, I don't know. Do you want to play with it? I mean, it was a while ago.
We may as well play with it because I also missed it.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, otherwise the Venom Hiss would have come up. You could have sent strikes at that instead, but I mean, this way you do have a dead Ebon Scourge, so
Yeah.
I think that's a win for you.
We take those.
Huh. Let's spend the Iron Rule. Vax says, and they say my stream is rigged. Hey, this isn't even ranked. We'll do a +7 on your Vox Gen.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in for the stream, by the way. So that'll hit the Vox Gen.
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll do a 7 on your Dora. That has Dorad.
All right.
Oh, no good.
So if you want, I mean, if you wanted to get my Dora, I can just teleport her up there for you. You got to reach so far. And as far as Vax's concerned, I mean, come on, we're both making misplays left and right. This is fair and balanced gameplay.
100%.
We're not cheating. We just suck.
So you have a 2 striking Dora. Let's pass.
I will take my free swings.
Mm.
9 on Siren Spawn, need 10s.
There's one.
And I'll get you.
All right. Let's hop up 2 ranks with the Venom Hiss.
All right. I pass.
Let's swing on Acolyte Dora.
Sounds good.
No. Dora again. I think that misses 7. Yeah. Back to you.
I pass.
I pass as well. Don't know what I was saving that exhaustion for. Should have used it on the teleport. That's another thing I hate about exhaustion. I inevitably always miss the best time to use it. It just frustrates me to no end.
Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't.
Oh, win with the 2. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. Let's swing with Siren Spawn.
All right.
Let's go on Lady Helene.
Okay.
Any reacts or not?
Yeah, I'll make you roll twice. Why not?
Okay.
Still think you're
First
gonna hit with both, but
13. Yeah.
yep. That'll get it.
And let's go on Lady Helene. That'll hit.
Both of them. Welcome to the land of Bofa.
Hmm.
Mass plus.
Let's kill that Siren Spawn for a Pyro. I definitely think it was very, very good idea to make sure that they come in spent. Otherwise, that would have been busted wide open.
Absolutely.
Now we've got some planar to launch through.
1 second. Yeah. Yeah, that's not the best, but we'll go for it. May as well. Wheel of Fish.
Gross.
Cool. What, have you not seen UFS? I think it was UFS.
UHF.
UHF? That's what
Yeah.
it was.
Oh, red snapper. Very nice.
Stubborn, lift, haste, and orthodox side.
I definitely wasn't expecting a UHF reference on tonight's stream, so thank you for that. So you guys are up by 14, and they're planar.
You gotta respect the master. He's the prince of all polka.
Oh, definitely. Let's swing with Venom Hiss on Gednarai.
Alright, sounds good. I do not have any reacts for that.
That'll miss. Let's go on Gednarai again. Actually, no, let's send this one at Acolyte Dora.
Alright.
Still nothing.
I will put a Destroyer's Armor on Ged Corral.
No, and my Minor Dragonkin is gone, you fiend. Let's teleport that Ged Corral backwards a rank.
You rude but capable bitch. Excellent.
I honestly thought those teleports would be more for moving my characters forward since they come in spent, but they've been infinitely helpful in getting rid of your guys.
I will always stand by Teleport and Dimensional Rift.
Oh my gosh, I hate D-Rift.
I love that card. It doesn't
Hate it
make people
so
as
much.
salty as Stolen Destinies does, but it's damn close.
As a dragon player, it makes me really salty because I worked hard to get to cheat those high level characters into play.
Earned it. All right. I guess I just have to swing here. Yeah. We'll try to take out that Venom Hiss. I'm
Okay.
not gonna be able to put 5 wounds on Pyro this turn, anyways. I don't think.
There's
Number
one.
1 and number
Ooh,
2, I think.
that easily gets
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Let's have Pyro breathe fire on Dora.
All right. No. 2 wounds. Fix ranks. I will play a Lord Juxonus.
Yeah. Let's see here. One more card in hand. Yeah, let's spend the Iron Rule. And we'll send a +7 at Ged Corell.
All right.
No. Oh, it also does the +7 additional rank away. I was thinking it was like Siren Swan where you have to hit.
Nope.
My bad.
You
So I'll
don't have.
send the +7 at High Priest as well. That will hit.
Youch. I'll bring forward Juxonus.
Let's throw down a Kerberos Signet.
I will pass.
Let's ditch the Signet. And unless it has been eroded and I'm not familiar, it does say up to 2 levels, so we're reduced by 1 for a Venom Hiss.
That wouldn't be something that it would be eroded.
I just want to make sure.
As far as I know, the only one that's been eroded is the Dwarven
Hember.
one to be level 9 instead of 8.
I just know whenever I find something that works in my favor, usually I find out it doesn't work in my favor. And there's a reason it no longer works in my favor. So back to you.
I'm gonna pass.
I'll play a Ravika.
Pass.
I will also pass. Ha, I finally got the cheeky card in here.
And I finally beat you on initiative.
You did. Congratulations.
And I think the correct thing to do here is not really available. I'm pretty sure this particular hand has lost me this match.
Oh.
I'm just gonna have some fun with it. I'm gonna pull Hero's Gambit prematurely on Ged Corell for 3 2 wounds on Pyro. Big money, no whammy. Let's roll some 20s.
Oh my gosh.
So we got 3+3s coming in. That is not a 20. That is a 5.
Oh,
That's
what a way to go out. All right. Well, that's one thing that can happen, and in fact did happen. Let's throw DC.
Sometimes you have to sacrifice your Warlord for Yulgrail's altar.
Yeah, I love when that happens. It feels really good.
Yes. We had a guy up at locals, and that was his game plan every tournament. He would pay money to join the tournament, and he would sit across the table from you and sacrifice his warlord to Yulgriel's altar for Decree 1.
I feel
Every
like I
game.
vaguely remember that.
Yeah, it's Joey. Joey's fucking great.
I vaguely remember that. So
I
we
just wanted to build
will.
stuff. Let's scoop and play Commander.
We will do DC 23 on your Gednerai.
Sounds good. She's going to roll twice.
I don't. That's not a Dora.
Oh. Yeah.
I think it just
Act like
dies.
Yeah, it just does.
Do it with confidence, and maybe it'll work.
Right. Ged Carell.
Steve Carell. All right,
He's
let's
back, bitch.
Iron Rule. Send a +7 at Juxanus.
All right.
13. That'll hit. And we'll send a +7 at High Priest. No.
I will put Destroyer's Armor on Ged.
Okay. I feel like I don't really have to hedge here, but I could. Kikaldin's Bracers. Wait, can I do that? Yeah, we can. We're good.
You're a level 8 dragon. What did you expect?
To not be able to equip items.
Let's try for 20s again. Why not?
Okay.
New.
More.
You get too much goddamn work out of that Pyrothraxis.
Oh, I love Pyro so much. Wait, you don't have one more. I'm used to Lady Helene getting that on. No, you do have one more.
No, I rolled both. I rolled an 18 and a 5.
But
Oh, wait, yes.
Destroyer's
You're
Armor
right.
gives you an extra one.
Yep. It's still not a 20. Need
Alright, so
more zeros.
here's the card I haven't drawn yet so far this match. I have 2 copies in the deck just because it's funny, and it's why I start Dragonkin. Dragon's Breath. Targeting 1 Ged Carell. That's right. We're running Dragon's Breath.
You gotta. All right. I'll go for that DC 19. What's my base? 3? 4? My base is 4. Okay.
Oh,
And
so
he died.
close. Because picture what your army was earlier in the game.
Oh, yeah.
He can just
Absolutely.
sit back and target everybody. Dragonkin's in there as a break glass in case of emergency. It's still a DC 9 against a couple level 1s, you know, otherwise I might not be able to play it turn 1.
Yep.
And it is back to you. I'm sure you have high aspirations.
I'm going to absolutely use the card Teleport to teleport myself into an illegal rank behind myself and fall forward.
You can't do it if it creates an illegal rank. Come on, rookie.
That's the point.
I know.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Good games.
What did I have left? So, the one card that I ran in here as a tech piece was immaterial in this matchup and would have been kind of nice, but not necessary, and that was Stubborn.
Oh, sure.
Yep.
Chat is also
Defending
throwing you
deck
to the
and-
wolves. Like really, really rough stuff. You can't play teleport. It's level 4. You can only do up to level 3.
Oh, yeah. I did mess that one up.
They don't like that. Hey, I'm not the only one that missed that when you did that to Acolyte Dora last turn. chat didn't call it out then, unless I missed it.
Well, I missed it when I put the card in the damn deck, so we can blame me.
There we go. No, those were good, fun games. I really like the interaction. Definitely more balanced than if you just, go hog wild and say, okay, you have. So we built with 350 points, and I will put the point based abilities that we came up with in the description to the YouTube video so you can look at those as well. We did 350 points. What you do is build in the tournament 1.1 format, and then any other abilities that you're going to add, just kind of have those points set aside. And with 350 points, there's definitely some busted stuff you can do, but I still feel like with regular Build-a-Warlord, it's scaled to a degree. I'm sure it can be more broken, but it didn't seem like after we made a couple revisions, I don't think it was as bad as we thought it was going to be.
Yeah. We did certainly go through and run some balancing on the text of the abilities and cleaned up the language a little bit.
Yeah, it's a
That
surprising
that
amount of those old overlords have terrible wording.
that 350 points, I found like the weirdest thing you could do with the limitation of only gaining 2 abilities is having like 6 melee strikes.
Yeah, that is where it gets interesting. Like you noted as well, when we were building these, you can for like 35 points, you can do a plus 20 strike, and yeah, that's just one strike, but there's just stats can
You
kind
could
of run
theoretically
off the
put a strike
rails.
in. You could put a strike in a bonus of plus 100. It's
Yeah,
but there's a certain point at which the bonus is not going to matter. So
yeah.
while that is possible with the math of the building, uh, it's non-functional. Like you can make
Mhm.
a plus 20 strike that's going to be really hard to miss on, but you can do the same thing via other abilities anyways. So the sacrifice there would be losing out on AC, skill, HP, stuff that's going to keep you alive uh
Right.
in most of the matchups. Um, I think it might not be a bad call to go through and highlight some of the custom ones we did at the very end of the list
Sure.
because I think we have some interest on those abilities just in general.
And before we do that, I have the doc pulled up right now. And I will say, if you want to talk in chat, we'll hop over to the giveaway after we go through some of these custom abilities we came up with. And the way that I'm going to do this, because Vac, if you're still here, you know my Nightbot hates me so much. So Nightbot doesn't work. So what we're going to do is roll a d20, or I guess we have 9 viewers right now. We'll roll a d10, and I will count up unique names in chat. So if you spam a bunch of messages, I'll still only count you once. I'll count up unique names in chat, and we'll count from 1 up to 10, whatever we roll, and that person will be the winner. So if you want to start chatting in chat now as we go through some of these abilities, and then we'll hop over to the giveaway in the next 5 to 10 minutes here. So
Yeah,
let's see.
I am in chat.
Hey. So we initially came up with some 45 and 60 point abilities, but then it was your idea to do the 75 pointers, and those were a really unique concept of making them really good if they fit in a specific class, but making it so you can't. So, like, one of them that was 75 points was name cannot perform cleric actions, and then react after target character stuns as a cost to move forward, inflict a wound on the target. And following that, name cannot perform wizard action. This is a separate ability. Name cannot perform wizard actions. Limited order, put a lower level character from your discard pile into play adjacent to name. So, really strong abilities in their given class, but then they make it so you can't function in that class. So, it really calls for some creative brewing there. So, we did one of
Yeah,
those for each base class, and then an extra one for Mentalist and Monk. Do you have any of those pulled up as well? Do you want to go through any?
I have the whole document in front of me. I'll
Okay.
just read out the mentalist and monks because those two were pretty interesting. And then we can talk over the design idea.
Yeah.
So the monk order is may not equip items, full stop, and order once per turn. If this character is a monk, perform an attack without spending. So it gives you access to something silly like I'm going to perform Hand of Might effectively 3 times in one turn. but you don't get access to some of the bigger stuff like Monkey's Paws, like Movement
Exactly.
Card, that sort of thing.
You do still get movement in cards like Stubborn, but yeah, Monkey's Paws is the big one, and any other multi-wounding that you might have, this essentially makes sure you don't get that.
Uh, it cuts it down by quite a lot, but there's definitely a lot to work with there.
For
The
sure.
other one is characters in this warlord's army may not perform actions to draw or retrieve cards other than the following. Order once per turn, choose a player. If this character is a mentalist, that player discards their hand and draws 3 cards. So, idea behind that is you could either use it to draw 3 more cards towards the end of the turn, or you can limit your opponent. Both incredibly strong. I just felt that locking the deck out of additional draw cards would have been necessary for something that huge.
I literally just realized that's really good with Sanjanel ability as well. That also makes it so characters in your army can't perform actions. Although this says other than the following, that just says full stop. So that I guess wouldn't work well here.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, still pushing your opponent down to a 3-card hand is
Oh yeah,
always
it's very powerful. And then I'll hit the rogue and fighter ones as well. This character cannot equip weapons.
one moment. You're being asked to show off the high priest on the chat.
Oh, I am.
Yes.
High Priest is a Deveranian Warlord Cantor Necro, level 8 Cleric. Your other Deveranians within 1 rank have an additional melee strike per attack equal to their first, so the Dema ability. And High Priest may perform level 3 or lower action cards of any class. Looking at 14 skill, I didn't realize your skill was that high. And then 5 hit points.
Yep. I went in a little bit harder on defensive abilities, just knowing full well you were going to play dragons. It's you.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, sorry I missed looking at that. My bad, chat. So 75 points. This character cannot equip weapons. This character's melee strikes cannot be canceled or redirected. Wounds from this character's melee strikes cannot be reduced. So that was built as the fighter ability. It really could go, I mean, on any class, but anybody that's going to be hitting with melee strikes probably has a weapon in the mix, and it's another way. It doesn't do multi wounding in and of itself, but it's still really strong.
Yeah. And the figuring behind that, rather than just outright copying Silverwind's text, was that doing so would probably break a rogue built with it,
Yeah.
whereas still having the critical failures, still being able to re-roll your opponent's strikes, it still gives you some interplay options. Still really strong there, and as we know, most assassin rogues look at a weapon and just kind of blink a couple of times. So it's not as much of a debuff on them.
Yeah, and now the rogue one, I think, is possibly the strongest of the bunch. It might need some more balancing if we were to do this in the future. Sorry, I have to keep the untapped game alive because we'll have to do some rolling a little bit later. Oh, you got that too. And that is name may not target spent characters with strikes. So definitely not something you want on a rogue. But then in limited order, target character within 1 rank suffers a wound and if ready becomes spent. So it is instant wounding and spending, but then the character that this ability is on can't target them with anything the rest of the turn. So I think it's definitely the most polarizing one here.
Yep. It forces you to play something where your army's doing much more of the work, but you still would need that character to be within 1 rank.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem like something that you're going to be able to pop off an opponent's warlord with to force them to spend very often, but it does leave for that option.
Reading it at first, when we first came up with it, it was very difficult to make it feel like it was balanced, and the initial reaction was just as completely broken. But after you think about it more and just how it interacts, since that character can't interact with them anymore, and then like you said, the rest of your army still can, but who knows if their warlord's even going to be up front. It's dicey. It's strong, but I think it works.
Yeah. It also effectively works as a slightly stronger version of something like Nemesis.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's the instant kill. So not quite that bad.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we have 3 pages of these things. That's all of the 75 point ones. The rest are either 30, 45, or 60 points. And like I said, they were all ripped off of Overlords for the most part. A few were ripped off of Overlord or regular warlords, such as Sanjanel. What's the goblin? The spend react to move back. We had one of him pulled his ability off. And then we
Uh,
came up with a few other ones as well. But those were kind
Spin
of
React.
the highlights.
I don't remember what character that was off of.
I
We
can
did pull
picture
some
the
off
art.
as well. Um,
Oh yeah, we did pull some off of items. We have Martyr's Hide as one. You can defend and riposte
Martyr's
any number of times per turn.
Martyr's Hide is one of them. There's also Tree Walk as an order once per turn.
Mm-hmm.
So your back boost charm ability. Um,
Savruk, Denison Kane. Thank you.
um, Another one of the custom ones that I ended up coming up with that I thought was kind of interesting. Uh, Works similar to Logan's Ring. It's react once per turn after this character performs an action that does not have spending as a cost. Spend them, perform the action again.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yep. And that one's a big 60, so that case in point, say you wanted to run a monk with this with a lot of strikes, you're paying 60 points and 75 points, and you can't have any other abilities in the text box to potentially run order, perform an attack without spending, react, spend you, order, perform an attack without spending.
Yeah, I feel like creating the 60 and then 75 point categories for this. I mean, you heard how good the 75 point abilities are. Neither of us are using them because they're so expensive and so situational. But I believe we're both running 60 point abilities, and we have just kind of generic Overlord stats. Like they're not busted open. Yeah, there's ways you could, but creating the new point tier for this at 65 or at 60 and then 75, I think really helped to balance the abilities as opposed to just putting some of those Overlord abilities at 45 and calling it good. That would have been, you would have need to lower the point limit that we worked with for sure.
Yeah. And Breno, the art on the Deveranian warlord looking like Thrall. I pulled the art off of an online search for a character that I was planning on running for a different thing called Corn Nobble, which is an English word that ought not to make any sort of sense. That means slap somebody across the face with a raw fish.
I've never heard that word in my life. That's amazing.
Yep. Uh, English has a lot of really silly words. Another
English is
good one is
ridiculous.
penetration, to throw somebody out a window. And yet we
Unbelievable.
don't have a word for the day after next.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, English is goofy.
Well, thank you to everybody who tuned into the stream. I think it's about high time we hop over to the giveaway. So we have here, you know what? Let's do 2 giveaways. We'll do one of my standard giveaways that I do for people that come on to stream, but we'll do that with just someone in chat. And then that way, if they respond quickly and say what they do or don't want, we can maybe add a little bit more to the Dragon's Hoard before we give it away. So I'll go ahead and roll a d20 to see what we're giving away first. That is a 16, so it's going to be 2 Ancients Rares. And now we'll roll a d10 and we'll count up in chat. Now, whoever wins this cannot win the Dragon's Hoard. That is 6. So we go up Denison Kane, Breno, Bane, Zydpunk, Gracchus, Midge. Midge, are you... Or no, Les Luna. Sorry, I skipped you. It has the first time chat. So, let's see here. You get 2 Ancients Rares. Do you want me to skip you since you're on stream? Just go off a chat?
Yeah, just honestly skip me, and besides, I've got rares to throw at you later on, in the next couple of weeks, anyways, because I
Okay.
was able to get some of the stuff you were trading for. So
Just so Midge, if you are in the chat, respond now, and I will pull your 2 anxious rares. If you don't respond in the next minute or two here, we'll add them to the Dragon's Hoard and just make it that much bigger to whoever ends up with it. Midge is here. All right. So we have one Amudasi's Inferno. Pretty fun card. It's situational, but it's the one that can be pulled out by the smaller Amudasis. It is a level 4 wizard, mercenary monster. React after melee strike or action targets Amudasi's Inferno. Perform a +5 melee strike targeting that character. And the other card is Reckless Abandon. Level
nice.
4. I don't recall seeing this one before. It's a level 4 fighter action. Spend order. Spend X fighters in your army. Until end of turn, this fighter gains +X HP. Oh, yeah, this is in the Winter Eternal deck. Okay,
I was
never
gonna
mind.
say, don't let back or not back. Fucking Vic hear you say that.
Yeah. No, I know this card now. I just didn't know it based off of the art. And then order, suffer a wound, perform a melee strike. Until end of turn, this character's wounds may not be removed or reduced by action cards. So, Midge, do you want those sent off to you, or do you want me to add them to the Dragon's Hoard and we'll give them away in just a second here? That is a really fun card, that Reckless Abandon. You have Reckless Abandon and Amudasi's Inferno. Ta-da! Look at that. Got them both right there. Oh my gosh. I hate mirrors. Send it to Bobby. All right. Sounds good. It will essentially be... We'll send them to Midge, and Midge can give them to Bobby. He said just the Reckless Abandon. So the Amudasi's Inferno we will throw into the Hoard. And now the time has come to give away the Hoard. We've been building this up since April. Who is it gonna be? Let's roll a d10. It cannot be Midge. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It goes to Bane. Bane, the one who put together the full art border for Lord Gwyrnethra, wins the Dragon's Hoard on the stream. Bane, if you're still here. All right, he is. Congrats, man. He's got a massive stack of cards. Let's hit some of the highlights here. We've got Mistress Dagani, Moldering Cur, a lot of 4E promos here. Fior, Reyes, Silisa. Oh, look, another Amudasi's Inferno is in here already. Kerberos' Signet, and my personal favorite, there is a Deathwing in here.
It was
Nirvana
actually
Tool is calling definitely. I can't say I blame him. So the first person it landed on was Les Luna. So thank you for passing on that, for making me look a little bit better. Then it goes to Bane.
no worries.
No.
I mean that's what happened in my stream with Chris over here, and that bitch still owes me a beer.
No, I really appreciate everybody tuning in for it. Someone else needs to know how it feels. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I get that. Yep. No, thank you so much to everybody who tuned in. It was a really successful stream, and I had a good time. Thanks to AJ for coming on as well. Like I said, this will be up on YouTube hopefully tonight, if not tonight, sometime tomorrow, where we will have the full point list of abilities that AJ and I came up with. And then you can, if you want to do your own, build an Overlord too. What we did, like I said, was 350 points. And then we just used these abilities combined with the tournament 1.1 rule set and just went from there.
Notably, however, because you have not mentioned this yet, part of our construction for the Warlords was no more than 2 of the abilities from the lists.
Oh, yeah.
Either one. And you build the Warlord starting at level 5, -1 level for each additional class, just
That's
like
right.
usual. And then once the point system is done, you've got everything all set up. You then adjust it for that 5 to equal 8. You just add 3 to wherever you're at, and that sets you where we want you to go. So,
I did forget to mention that. I also forgot to mention our ban list, which I should have done at the start. We are
oh
not
yeah,
running Medusan Lord's Might, Medusan Lord's Guile, because that's just not fun. And we're not running Time Stop. Was it just those three, or did we have another one?
I think it was just those three. We didn't mention anything about war gear. We did have a brief discussion about Joffrey, but kind of
Yeah.
decided that if you're gonna build around it, just like Ancients, it's should be available.
Yeah. So Bane and Midge, shoot me messages on Discord so I can get those cards sent to you. Everybody else, thanks again for tuning in. Be on the lookout for the YouTube VOD later on.